Hey everyone, it's Tuesday, April 21st, and I hope you're having a good day today. The weather is beautiful. Hopefully you're outside getting some exercise. I wanted to say, I forgot yesterday, I needed to say happy birthday to Taylor. It was Taylor's 8th birthday yesterday on April 20th. So, yay, Taylor. I hope you had a great birthday. And then also, today's birthday is Channing. Channing's birthday is today. So, she's also 8 years old. So, Taylor and Channing, happy birthday, girls. I hope you got to celebrate with your families. I know we didn't get to have parties like we wanted to. Maybe you did have family over and have a party. But whatever you guys did for your birthdays, I hope that they are or were wonderful. And if you want to send a picture to me of you with a sign or anything for their birthdays, do it and I will forward it along to them so you can tell them happy birthday. Okay? I do want to give an update. This weekend, I will be making trips to you guys to deliver something exciting. Those of you who have paperwork, I will deliver your last 2 weeks of paperwork for the school year and a surprise. And then those who have online work, I'll be delivering your surprise. It's something I do every year with my students. I think I mentioned it yesterday. I'm going to tell you what it is on Friday, okay? So get excited. On Friday, I will let you know what will be coming your way this weekend. It's something I do every year with my kids. Everybody does it. And this year, instead of doing it at school, you're going to have to do it at home. So it'll be a big responsibility, but it'll be something fun and exciting and a really good way to end out the school year. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the next chapter in our book. Wayside School Gets a Little Stranger. We are on to chapter 5, a story with a disappointing ending. So here we go. Paul's father was a security guard at a museum. The museum had a very famous painting. It was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. It was called the Mona Lisa. Next to the painting was a sign, "Do not touch." All day, Paul's father made sure nobody touched the painting. At night, after the museum closed, Paul's father was alone, just him and the Mona Lisa. And the sign, "Do not touch, do not touch, do not..." He was dying to touch it. The tips of his fingers tingled with desire. But this story isn't about Paul's father. It's about Paul. Paul was a student in Mrs. Jules's class. He sat behind Leslie. Leslie had 2 long brown pigtails that reached down to her waist. They just hung there all day, right in front of Paul's face. The Mona Lisa. "Do not touch, do not touch, do not..." Paul reached out, grabbed, and yanked. "Yeah!" screamed Leslie. Mrs. Jules sent Paul to the counselor's office. And remember we met Dr. Pickle? The counselor's office was on the 4th floor. Paul had never been there before. Like every student in Wayside School, he was afraid of the counselor. The counselor had a very scary face with big, bushy eyebrows and a little beard on his pointed chin. Paul knocked on the door. "Come in," said the counselor. Paul entered and sat down on the couch. "What's the problem?" asked the counselor. "I pulled Leslie's pigtails again," said Paul. "I know it's wrong, but I just can't help myself." "Watch the pickle," said the counselor. Paul's eyes went back and forth as he stared at the swaying pickle. "You are getting sleepy," said the counselor. "Your eyelids are getting heavy." Paul suddenly felt very tired. He could hardly keep his eyes open. "When I count to 3, said the counselor, "you will fall into a deep, deep sleep. 1, 2, 3. Paul closed his eyes. He wasn't exactly asleep. He felt like he was living in a dream. But it was a very pleasant dream. He felt happy and safe. "Can you hear me?" asked the counselor. Over can. "Yes," said Paul. He was no longer afraid of the counselor. In fact, he liked him a lot. "You will do what I say," said the counselor. "I will do what you say," Paul repeated. "I'm going to count to 5, said the counselor, "and then you will wake up. You will return to your classroom. You will take your seat behind Leslie. You will want..." Salem. Okay, I think they're done, hopefully. "You will take your seat behind Leslie. You will want to pull one of her pigtails, but when you reach for it, it will turn into a rattlesnake. Leslie's pigtails are rattlesnakes, said Paul. Very good, said the counselor. Now just one more thing. He rubbed his beard and smiled. When Leslie says the word pencil, her ears will turn into candy, the most delicious candy in the world, the candy of your dreams. Paul licked his lips. He could almost taste the rich chocolate and chewy caramel. And you will try to eat the candy. When Leslie says pencil, I will eat her ears, said Paul. The counselor counted to 5. Paul's eyes blinked open. You may go back to class now, said the counselor. I'm not in trouble? Asked Paul. No, said the counselor. Paul shrugged. He returned to class. As he passed Leslie, she stuck out her tongue at him. He sat down behind her. What did the counselor do to you? Asked Eric Fry. Nothing, said Paul. He's a nice man. He looked at Leslie's pigtails. He had pulled the one on the left, but he still wanted to pull the one on the right. He lunged for it. It hissed at him. Its tail rattled. He screamed and fell back over in his chair. Everyone laughed. Paul, are you all right? Asked Mrs. Jules. I guess so, said Paul, getting back up. He didn't feel like pulling Leslie's pigtails anymore. It was just a short while later that Leslie's pencil point broke. Oh, great, she complained. What's the matter? Asked Jenny, who sat next to Leslie. Leslie showed her the broken pencil point. You want to borrow mine? Asked Eric Fry, who sat behind Jenny. No, I'll just go sharpen it, said Leslie. She went to the back of the room and sharpened her pencil. She returned to her seat. She set the pencil on her desk, but it rolled off when she sat down. Hey, where'd it go? She asked, turning around. Where did what go? Asked Paul. There it is, said Jenny, under Paul's desk. What's under my desk? Asked Paul. I'll get it, said Eric Fry. He reached under Paul's desk, picked up the pencil, and handed it to Leslie. She thanked him, and everyone returned to work. I bet you were waiting for her to say the word pencil, but she never said it. So I guess Paul is not going to be eating her ears because Leslie never said pencil. She just kept saying it. All right, so that was chapter 5, a story with a disappointing ending. Tomorrow we will read chapter 6, Pet Day. All right, happy birthday, Taylor. Happy birthday, Channing. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow on Wednesday.